Trinity.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That-
If you would, we'll all stand and remove our hats and we'll say the pledge to open our meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We'll call to order Spencer Town Council meeting for Monday, July 21st, 2025. Let it be shown that all three council members, the town clerk, the town attorney, the town liaison, and department heads from the police, the street, and the sewer plant are here, plus our distinguished guest. So, okay. All right. Approval of minutes from previous meeting.
I'll come over. That's good to me.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you. Public issues, Spencer Pride, Elizabeth. Hey, how are you?
Hi, Elizabeth Solchick. Where's the next?
Right there on the.
At the mic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You might need
We
turned
got you on
Hunter's
TV.
on it.
And I'll make it a little taller too.
We also be able to project too. Hi, Elizabeth Solchuk with Spencer Pride. I am coming before the board to figure out what the process may be for like an asphalt art, like mural project for the community. So we are currently having a mural put on the back of our building for this year.
Yes.
But we are wanting to kind of expand that idea and create like a mural district. We've been talking with Main Street, or Spencer Main Street, also talking with Civilian, with Ben Williams and some other business owners. And they like the idea of bringing art onto the asphalt on the roads around the county courthouse and bringing more tourism and business visits to the area, but I didn't know what that process would look like for the council for approval. So I've kind of started looking at like costs from like our side, like if we were to like sponsor and like have the volunteer hours to do like a crosswalk or to do like the parking spaces and kind of figuring out what may work this year for us to kind of test it out versus what we would do like with Spencer Main Street and pursue like a grant next year and how we would phase that in. But I don't know like what that may look like for us. And I'm not gonna be rude, I'm gonna take notes at the same time.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, I would, probably fill out an application and
Okay.
then we would have to take a look at it. Are you painting asphalt?
Yes, and so we were looking at costs in terms of like what would be for like durability, whether it be like latex, like house paint, whether it be something like concrete stain, or maybe something more official like thermoplastics and some acrylic options. Those may or may not be cost prohibitive, depending on like how many applications we have to do and all that, but we were kind of expanding and like researching different options of what would be possible.
I don't know what would stick on.
I don't know, I think
Asphalt.
My Path was looking into that at one point.
Well, the Arts Commission as well got a grant for about $10,000. Have you
Yes.
spoke with Melody King with
Not
through
yet.
Sounds?
She's not here tonight, she was
So,
going to.
well,
be.
okay.
I was gonna suggest that too.
Mhm.
There
So you may
go.
touch base with her because she might already have a little bit of knowledge on that.
Knowledge on
So
that.
are you,
Yeah.
have you
Tony,
applied
do you
for
have
a
any-
grant?
We have not yet, we've done it for like our own mural, but nothing for the asphalt, like art project yet. We were just kind of, again, trying to figure out what the process was and getting buy-in from our local businesses and everybody in here.
Where will your mural be, on the front
Our
or
mural
back?
is on the back,
Okay.
so it's on the back.
So you
of
can
my
see it from the
bicycle.
highway.
Yes, and that's not as
Yeah.
like historically protected with the
I
facade.
observed a very young lady putting paint on the asphalt at Babs's last
Okay.
year, and it faded away. Now, I don't know what she used.
You know,
It was pretty when she
Yeah,
got
because they did
down.
like the
Yeah.
bell peppers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
That's
all
right,
gone now.
that's right.
So we kind of want it to last like a couple years, maybe longer if possible, for spending the like volunteer hours and like actually doing it.
I think the idea of the crosswalks first would be
Would be an
my
excellent idea,
recommendation.
yeah.
Yeah, because we were kind of
And that
looking.
probably gets you more grant opportunities because I know that that's what Melody was doing was
Okay.
crosswalks.
Yeah, because we were kind of looking at like the actual, like the crosswalk strips in the center, because like the city of Bloomington is doing a very beautiful one right now that's like in an intersection. And they were talking about how there's studies now that by putting art in like intersections, it's increasing traffic safety because people are like slowing down and paying attention, which I thought was kind of interesting that they've got the data to show that. But there were a couple different options, and like I said, just figuring out what we may be able to do and kind of plan them out.
If you can get people to slow down at a crosswalk with painting, The next project's gonna be right there in Hillstone.
Yeah, exactly. So we were looking at that as options of like, if we make it vibrant enough and attractive that maybe they will be like, oh, I've gotta slow down as I come through here, so.
Crosswalks might not be a bad place to start, and and you might contact somebody from over Bloomington, see what kind of painting.
That's what
Yeah.
I was saying.
Yeah,
So I
probably be
reached
a really
out-
good, yeah.
I reached out to the muralist to ask, cause she's also a city planner or an architect or something, so she kinda has like dual background, but now she's going back into art, and so she kinda made some recommendations and also provided me some guidance with, the city of Fort Wayne, city of Indianapolis, and maybe Bloomington of like, kind of like what their procedure is for like applying for it and saying, hey,
Okay.
I can't have a big like Spencer Pride logo on the street kind of thing,
Yeah.
but some best practices of like what to consider. And we were thinking again of like with the crosswalk, but if we did something larger, like in the parking spaces first, we wanted to maybe pursue the idea of like a quilt, like quilt blocks, and then make them like nature themed and, you know, something that's vibrant, colorful, and like everybody could kind of personalize as they come together as a community.
If
The
you,
other thing,
Go ahead.
we'd have to get agreement from the water company that they don't need to cut that
Yeah,
area.
that's true, too.
We've had
That's-
water
yeah,
cuts
we'll
all
find
over this town.
if you do the quilt thing,
Uh-huh.
I'll just throw
You
a
don't know
hat.
anyone who knows anything about
I don't
quilts,
know
do you?
anything about anything about quilts, no. Do you know where my wife's store is?
Yeah.
Okay, go up there and tell her what you're doing, okay? And she'll help you out.
Awesome, and that's why, and I don't know if you've seen, we also have one of our volunteers that donates her time, she's at the quilt store a lot too, but,
Okay.
she donates quilts for like our sweepstakes,
Yes,
things like that are very popular, and so we're kind of like paying homage to her as well, and like how well received the quilts are in the area, so.
Okay, sure.
But again, and it's up for discussion, we're just trying to think of something colorful that everybody would feel like they'd be able to like own a piece of and like create something pretty.
Parking spots would be cool.
I think so too.
Uh-huh.
And you could probably do like maybe 2 squares for each of like those parking spots along the way, and obviously not touch the accessible one, but there's
Sure.
a number of them along Franklin Street too, so.
Okay.
Still have to have them fill in the.
Yes, yeah, and like basically we color within the lines.
Right.
Okay, so kind of create that application and talk with Melody, and then maybe pursue the crosswalks first as like our first attempt at that? Okay. And then what would timeline for approval look like when we do the application? Like, is this something we think about in 2026? Could we do it like this fall?
Oh, we might be able to do it this fall.
Okay.
Depends on
Weather
how
be a little
quickly
cooler
we-
for you to paint it. anyway.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, like I don't want my shoes sticking to the asphalt as we're trying to paint it. Okay. Is there anything else I should consider as we create that application for y'all?
I was gonna add, I know, speaking with Melody King, you're probably gonna wanna look at I think it's NDOT's regulation on
Right.
crosswalks
Yep.
and what type of art can be put in there.
Yes.
Cause there are some restrictions.
Yep, and there's also something with the safety board or something like that, like those like federal regulations that come down through the state and everything. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we were also worried about like the paint options as well, like what the crosswalk may be, like the reflective or like the anti-skid ones, but then we have to do certain things for like within the crosswalk to make
Sure.
sure it's safe too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, safety seems to be the big issue.
Yes, and we are very much aware of that, so if we were doing something, like on Main Street or Washington Street, we have to kind of figure out, what's maybe within the right of way, close enough to like the railroad company, since we're very cognizant of that as well. So we'll make sure we follow those recommendations and,
That's true.
get through that, so, okay.
And if you have any samples, like if you've seen things, if you wanna send them through email.
Yeah,
anybody-
yeah, that'd be
Awesome,
cool.
I can do that, and we just, when I was talking to the thermoplastics person, he sent a few of them that were like, I didn't even tell him we were kind of pursuing that like quilt option, and he sent like a really nice like intersection one that he's done somewhere, so he provided some really nice options, so, awesome,
Thank you.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Another addition to the community.
Yes.
All right. On public issues, request for removal of trees.
That was, yes, tabled
Yeah.
last time.
The continuation of that one.
Yes.
Did we get a hold of Duke?
Tony and me went down there today and talked about it. It's not in the alleyway, it's not in the right of way, it's in her yard. And it's well away from Duke's power line, so anybody could take it down if they wanted
Okay.
to. It's just not gonna be us.
Which, and that's what I thought, I mean, I told her
But-
before it wasn't ours, but she wanted a second opinion, I guess.
Tony,
so.
what did did she tell you she thought it was gonna cost to get it taken down?
5,000.
5,400.
She said $5,000 what she.
Uh,
5,400.
Here, her complaint form is right here.
Okay.
You got it.
She said that the meeting.
It doesn't say.
She did say the meeting.
Yeah,
There's
that,
several-
it was something
I
close to
think
that.
so.
I don't remember
Rules.
specifically.
And we disagreements on it. She can't afford to have it cut down.
So,
Is there a possibility that you could contact the people that you have take ours down and give her an estimate?
Yeah, I mean, that's no problem, the people we use have to be bonded, insured.
Sure.
So you can
Well,
get-
I think anybody should be, yes.
I know, but you can get cheaper
I
tree
know.
removals.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that, it's not
Yeah.
ugly.
But should you?
Yeah.
I can call her this week, let her know what the board decided, and I can put her in contact with the company we use.
my thought was that since you use that vendor so much, maybe they would offer a better price to her, because $5,400, I couldn't put a tree down in my yard for that, that's crazy. So,
I was
they
thinking,
give,
she said 24.
5,000 worth.
Okay, okay, yeah, so if you could, Tony, if you could reach out to her, then tell her.
Certainly.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. Okay. Tax abatements. World Arts, you're up to bat. Hi, Matt.
So I'm Matt Lees with World Arts. I was requested to come back for the second go-around for some questions, I guess. So I guess I'm curious as to what questions there needs to be.
I think I had a conversation with you just the other day and all. What we're interested in, of course, is there have been some changes, obviously, since we started this project and all. And we were wondering, of course, can you give us a little bit of update about what your forecast is on putting new equipment in place and all going on forward, not only the current year, but the next coming years, and also whatever might be happening on the employment front, if you would.
Yeah, on the equipment side, so I replaced Tim Lewis about a year ago in July. My first objective was to try to get some costs under control to turn our profits a little bit on a higher note. We were doing okay, but I wanted to try to get some things shored up, try to expand into some new areas, which would be like the label market for food packaging, and as well as carton manufacturing. So we've already started that initiative. We started that initiative in November of '24. We bought two pieces of equipment. One was about $300,000. Another piece was about $350,000. So roughly, I mean, there is none of the equipment that we work with is cheap. It just isn't. So we have two main pieces to get started with this initiative. We are developing we're doing some R&D testing right now. We have the equipment in place. On the label side of things, we have two large customers that we're doing some R&D work for right now. One of them is a very large customer out of Westfield, Indiana. Two members of the Shark Tank several years ago. They've got a big business that they're getting ready to really step into some big accounts with Walmart, and they're already working with Buc-ee's. So there's a big opportunity there. So like I said, we're doing the R&D work right now on that. I'm supposed to meet with them in a couple of weeks to take some test samples to them to, basically display what we're capable of doing. And then also I had another conversation with another company today about the packaging side of the thing. I think I mentioned at the last meeting that we were looking at the food and beverage industry as well as the craft beer market. So a lot of the box packaging that the cans go in when you buy them off the shelf, that kind of packaging. So between the labels and the box packaging, those are two big initiatives that we're working on for the future. What I'm hoping is to potentially get this full-fledged running off the ground by sometime in October, November of this year. And then you know, we've already, with the size of the accounts that we're already looking at, we're already looking at possible second shift opportunities.
Oh,
So that,
wow.
so that could put more employees into our bucket, as well as what we already have. We've done a little bit of, with a little bit of adjustment in positions and things within our structure. When Tim left, our CEO, when he left and I took over for him, we made an adjustment with our operations as well at the same time. So we did a little restructuring there. We're starting to build that up again now. And the workload is starting to get to the point where a second shift is looking very, very reasonable moving forward. So with the investments in equipment, one final step with the packaging side of things, I've got about another somewhere between $500,000 and $700,000 investment that I'm looking at, and this will keep everything within our walls. There's one step that we're having to outsource right now,
You don't wanna do that.
and we don't wanna do it because we can't control it. When you have to depend on someone else, they don't really care what your schedule is. You know, what your customer wants, you take care of them, and that's how we do things, so.
One of the nuances of the form is that it requires for the reporting purpose that the equipment not only be purchased, but in use.
Yes.
So, as you put them online and begin the process, make sure you get that aspect to the forming and notify the assessor, of course, when the routine assessments are made. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to hear that you're doing well and all, and that these are progressing, yeah.
Yes, yeah, things are moving along pretty well.
Good.
How many people would be on a second shift?
Well, we're looking at, to get started, we probably need somewhere between 4 and 6 to
Okay.
get started. Can't have one or two, it's, they don't watch each other very well, so, when we have 53 total people in our facility on one shift, our shifts are staggered, so they start very early in the morning, 5 a.m., and then we finish up usually in the afternoon at 4:30 p.m. So we would put a second shift on that would start somewhere around 4 o'clock and then go on up to around midnight or somewhere in that area.
These are outside your printing operation or in conjunction with?
In conjunction with it, yeah.
Awesome. That sounds very promising.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things going on.
Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Have you had
So
any-
what you'll do is you'll need to sign the form here, board authorizing you to sign, authenticate the fact that CF1 values were less than what we had expected and all. But in part two, in this hearing part, the explanation has been given, the anticipated growth of both equipment and personnel will be satisfactory as we go forward.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you,
Sounds
Matt.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You wanna get those signatures tonight?
Yeah,
or-
sure.
I think we ought to do it.
No time
while
like the present.
Yeah.
We would never
Well, the
forget
arm's
once we
hot.
got started.
Someone has to make a motion to let him
Oh.
sign.
Yeah.
It only requires just the one signature, and then I,
Okay, I'll make a motion that John sign the
CF1.
CF1 for World Arts as they've described their operation is going to be expanded and new employees brought on.
Okay. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Should you second? Because it's too late now. I don't know.
Um,
Sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
I can fill the rest for
All
them.
right, okay. Thank you, Richard. Okay.
And we'll keep a copy of that and the other will go to the auditor, right, or not? Richard,
I'm sorry.
will we keep a copy of that and the other go to the auditor?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take care of all of that for you.
Okay.
Why don't you attest down here at that spot right there,
Alright.
second line.
And Elizabeth, don't feel like you have to stay for the whole meeting unless you're really hard pressed for entertainment. Okay.
Transition as you guys go into like.
It's like watching a
Feel
slug
free to
crawl
sneak
across the sidewalk.
I worked in government for a really long time, trust me, this is better than reading code.
Oh, okay, sure.
Well, Matt, best wishes.
Yeah.
I hope everything
Thank
works
you.
out for you
So I'm
guys.
just stealing
You're
your
a great
idea.
addition to town.
Yeah.
we appreciate you being here and everything, what you've done for us.
And I like the mural on your building.
Yeah, so it's,
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of
Big
murals,
Spencer, as they
Yeah.
drive into town.
Looks good.
to see
Yeah,
it.
looks good.
all right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you much.
Yeah.
All right, next we got Boston Scientific.
Good evening. Just wanted to pass out a few things to hopefully address any questions about our compliance this year. There were
This way.
definitely some changes with the real estate abatement, because our property was finally assessed for the building fully. Is everyone okay?
No.
Sorry.
I do. You have an extra. Thank you.
Extra down there.
I think we all have one now.
So, if we can just, because there's page numbers at the bottom, just so that we can reference the same thing at the same time. Page 2, just kind of shows the snapshot that you all are accustomed to as to where we're at with the cost of capital, that's been placed into service. You know, we committed under our MOU to be between 60 and 75 million. As you can see, we're kind of on the high side of that range. So everything has been placed into service. You know, we're fully, committed as far as the capital that we placed in. And so we believe we should be in compliance as far as the total cost, for the building and the equipment. There was a minor mistake on the CF1 for the personal property for Boston. So we provided a corrected CF1.
In this corrected copy you gave us.
That's right.
You know the other form was not legible, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So all of these, trust me, are
Okay.
very legible
All
tonight,
right.
and want to make sure that everyone was voting on an informed basis on the, I think the scanner just didn't quite get through the trick this year for us. So we'll make sure that's not a mistake next year. But we had omitted about $4 million in tooling, so that the CF1 amounts went out, beyond what had been filed on the CF1. So that is corrected in this packet. And you can see it says corrected on the top, just so that you're voting on the right totals that jive up with the returns that were filed. The building is owned by the REIT landlord, and so that's what we filed the CF1 and the 322 form for the deduction this year, because it was all assessed by the county under NMESC, which is the REIT landlord.
It causes a bit of confusion because the original tax abatement was in the name of A, okay?
Yep.
Then you split part of it off to B, so you really have two different entities claiming a part of the tax abatement process. And that was confusing, okay, just to explain that.
I understand. Yeah, so basically, the building at one time was owned by Boston, and it was kind of sold to a REIT entity. And so basically, the way that the tax abatement works under a transfer of ownership for real estate, especially as the new entity that actually is assessed for the property ends up having to file the paperwork for the owned property at that point.
Does the abatement actually transfer then?
It
I mean,
does.
we didn't get an agreement with them of any kind, and
By statute, actually, it does.
the transaction was taken, yeah.
And that's why the SB1 was in the name of the landlord at that point. So we had TBH, whatever that entity was,
Yeah.
in place at the time, but by statute, the real estate does transfer.
Is there any way you can go back and give copies of each of the years' forms showing what we understand? I know this is a nice presentation, and it gives us a lot of information.
Sure.
But it's not we're feeling that there was some miscue a year ago on the whole
Well,
thing.
This goes to yet still another nuance and all. We did not get the forms on a timely basis at all,
We haven't.
okay?
We
Want to
haven't.
repeat our request that the designating body get a direct copy of this when it's filed. I know the courtesy goes to the county auditor as well, but in this case, it didn't get from the county auditor to the town, okay? And we lose our time sequence for being able to approve and know what's going on.
So we had emailed Marcy with all the forms, trusting that. it would
I
be
couldn't
sent
read
out.
those, I could not read them, and I got a stack like this, and it went back to the original agreement
Okay,
back when we started out, but it didn't give us enough information to know exactly what you were trying to do or what Boston was trying to do.
I understand. So what I would like to propose is to just copy you, Richard, on any of those emails going forward.
And we're happy to host a meeting if you want to have the hands-on discussion, yes.
So we will tweak our process to make sure that you are copied from henceforth.
But I know, I would like to see these forms that we file at the courthouse, copies of them for the years of tax abatement,
Sure,
if we can get it.
sure. So for this year or for every year?
For every
or-
year.
For every year, okay,
Not that we doubt your calculations,
sure,
but we want to make sure that we agree with what you've done.
sure, absolutely.
Okay.
So,
One more nuance to this too is the fact that, we need to, you had talked about the idea of trying to get a new tax abatement based upon a new personal property calculation. Talked with Tom Pittman about that, he said that's really not necessary, that it's just built into the personal property acquisition process and the abatement being awarded based upon what the new personal properties are. So essentially, just adding it to the mix of your assessments creates the ability to have that as an assessment without going through another formal tax abatement process.
so your position, Richard, is that our MOU covers future expansion? So we don't need to come back to the well?
Just do it. They say.
Well, that's just too easy, thank you.
I'm representing Nike.
Okay, well, that is more than fair. So I did want to also point out, that, just for disclosure, that there was a pretty big increase in our value for this year, and that's on page 7. And so you can see that the increase was material, so we did file, a deduction to pick up the assessment of that increase, and it was attributable to the new construction, which was always contemplated to be part of that MOU, so
Has all the construction been completed now that was in that phase?
it has, yeah,
Okay.
it has.
Do you have any leaseholds on any of those properties?
So there was some fixturing, but really the fixturing itself, for the most part, was deemed to be personal property related, even though it was affixed. And so we picked it up on the business personal property, either for the landlord, because it was part of their, construction bid project, or it was on landlord, on Boston's books and records. And so, there were a lot of items that you would think would be real estate that were actually personal property, and so they made it to not only the return, but also the deduction, filings for one or the other.
Is the real estate involved in this display that you have given us here?
Yes.
What page is that?
Yeah, so on page 7 is your assessment change for
Yeah, we see that.
NMBSC, right? On page 5 is the deduction form for the real estate to pick up the incremental change, Mike.
Yeah.
And so that was part of claiming the deduction for that increase that happened. Noteworthy is that there was a corrected mistake on the abatement deduction, and so we worked directly with the assessor to fix that, and then also to fix the donation, payment.
I think at some point you need to check back with us on that because the assessor sometimes holds the information.
Sure.
And the auditor sometimes is ill, like she is now,
Right.
and they get put in a cubbyhole, and we can't get to them to see exactly what we want to see.
I understand.
Just at that point.
Okay.
If you send everything to,
Yes, it goes through Richard, yeah.
that would,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know Marcy always said, well, you were sending a separate copy to the town, which is me, and I don't want it. But you weren't sending it to me anyway.
I understand. So that's a really easy fix going forward, and we'll make sure that you're on.
I'll be glad to assist. Sometimes I know a back door to the courthouse.
Okay.
So are we still waiting on one abatement for 1 year? Is that what you're
Yes.
talking about
Yeah.
here?
I thought it was 24,
24 we just got, I believe.
then it's 23 then,
Yeah, I think it's 24.
Yeah, it would not be due this year, okay?
Right, okay.
So we'll go back
Yeah.
and backfill your files with everything that's been filed related to the 18
I
and
would
forward
appreciate that.
capital.
I would
Yes.
appreciate that, thank you.
And do you want the business personal property forms, just the whole 9 yards?
It would be
Yes,
good,
yes.
yes.
Okay,
Mike has asked before that, yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
So we'll provide that. It'll have a confidentiality stamp for obvious
Sure.
reasons.
Yeah.
Sure.
On it.
Yes, I agree.
But we'll make sure that you have that. And then going forward with next year's filing, we'll make sure we've
Bring the
got
forms
Richard on the.
to Richard.
I mean, would it make sense to also just send a hard copy along with the
Yeah.
email in case
Yeah.
the firewall peters out or
The
whatever?
auditor's office has
Yeah.
had some difficulties in some of the personnel not knowing what was on someone else's desk and it got lost in the
Yeah.
shuffles and all, so.
They are supposed to make the calculation for the award back,
Sure.
and sometimes they change personnel that don't know how that calculation is done.
I understand.
Okay,
So we'll shore up the process.
all right.
Not a problem.
So in summary, the compliance forms are showing the required attributes of
Okay.
the tax abatements, personal property and real estate. We just simply wanted legible copies. We wanted explanations about where we are on some of the nuances we've talked about. But I'm ready to recommend that this can be signed and approved based upon that new presentation.
What year are we in? It's a 10-year abatement now?
So the personal is on 20
Yeah, I know that.
and the real is on.
It goes on forever. but Yeah,
So basically, I mean, it's
Your
kind of
thought.
been in phases, so
Four or
your,
five.
your calculation is kind of based upon when the asset was placed into service. So it's not easy to say we're in year whatever, because
Uh-huh.
we're in a lot of different years based upon the layers of capital that have been made.
it didn't change.
But it started in 19, I believe.
Yeah,
But you'll
it-
see that in the compliance filings.
Okay. As soon as I see those forms, I'll be happy.
Yes, yeah, and if we need to get on a virtual call with
Yeah,
any questions,
okay.
we're happy to do that
Okay.
together.
Well, Richard and I said in the original negotiation that trusted everything that went on, and we just want to make sure that we understand where we are now and how it's going to be done.
Did you say this changed?
I'll switch around.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, that one is not the copy he just gave
That's
us
what
and
I
all,
meant.
it's this one
Yeah.
here.
That's the one we want your signature
Right.
on, quite honestly.
If you can use those appropriate locations.
Okay.
So tell me
see
what
that in a minute.
page she has decided.
To you. Try not to knock anything over.
Page 5.
How does your future forecast look as far as your growth and things?
Yeah, so from a growth perspective, there's still a lot of planning.
You can still
You know,
use
with-
these.
With what's happening with capital, with headcount. You know, the Trump tariffs have had a profound impact on the organization globally. And so, you know, it's just created a lot of uncertainty. But, I mean, the real, my understanding is that the strategies around retaining as many of the employees as possible and, you know, maintaining a profitable, you know, operation through automation and really trying to position for growth in the future competes not only well globally with our competition, but also with other facilities in the United States. And so that's kind of been the focus with
Okay, good,
Austin Spencer.
good. We try to keep as many employees as we can.
Absolutely.
The whole concept when we started this was that we were competing against other centers for the research center here in Bloomington.
That's right.
And we're still in that same sense that
That's right.
we've given enough so you can
Right.
stay here.
Yeah, so it's maintaining as low of a cost structure as
Right.
possible so that if and when new products are kind of making it past the R&D phase, you know, that Spencer's positioned nicely as a low-cost center for
Okay.
those, you know, and then that would trigger
Yeah.
future growth.
You guys can hit the ground running then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need a motion.
To share information with you, the town board is aggressively pursuing enlarging our wastewater treatment facilities so that we will have appropriate capacity to provide more housing in the town and the suburban areas around the town. And hopefully that will provide housing for potential workers and the like and all. So we've got investments that are on the table now of maybe $13 million to do that expansion and more that will lead to about $35 million to hopefully increase our capacities that will be sufficient for the next 30 years. So we're serious about
I
it.
think that's beyond our time, Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you putting developer agreements in place for apartment contractors and all? That's great. Yep. I see a lot of communities really amping up their housing initiatives for grants and
Well,
TIF. and-
we've got the land, we just need to get them built.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that's encouraging.
All right. You guys wanna make a motion to sign this paperwork for Boston?
I'll make the motion that you sign.
I'll
John.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your support.
Hey, no problem.
Heading for the hills.
Get out of here. I got, give me
Oh,
some of these.
go ahead, that'd be fine, yeah.
Okay.
Elizabeth's scurrying out there in the middle of everybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Elizabeth
yeah.
scurried out.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Next on the agenda, next on the agenda is department reports, board liaison.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen, I've been following up on the Duke Energy agreement. They are now in the scheduling phase for installing the lights throughout town. So Steve Lee will be reaching out to me here soon with an update as soon as they get the installation process scheduled. And then we will know a timeline in which they will be implementing all those lights. Let's see here, FEMA. So I reached out to FEMA again, nothing has come back. So I reached out to Jack White, and Jack was telling me that it's basically still in the same place as far as waiting to be signed by the President of the United States. Given that they have not made any movement in the past 4 months, and with the most recent flooding in Houston, it's more than likely that we're not gonna see anything come up, federal aid monies through, to reimburse us for some of the damages or the man-hours that were utilized at that time. That being said, the decanter that was damaged in the flood, we will likely have to replace that. I will let Ryan take that over, that conversation during his time. And I believe that's all that I have at the moment.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Hunter. Police Department. Chief Sitz.
All right, good evening. We got a
Good evening.
short brief here.
did have one of our officers, at the jail, had a fall and, he got medical attention. He was returned to full duty the following day. He did have one day off, full duty, no restrictions, so not too much there. But I felt it was worth reporting since it might have to do with workman's comp. The equipment, we're looking into options to dispose of the 2 surplus vehicles out there. I mean, we've got a couple options. Some of them the officers have come up with, I'm not too crazy about. But, we got some guys back there who wanna get pit certified, and I'm not crazy about that at all. So, but we're looking at possibly, either selling them outright or, trading them in on new vehicles whenever that comes around, to lessen that cost. Under operations, we've got, the fair. Luckily, we had no major issues. Nothing more than what's standard. We do have the Back to School Expo coming up this weekend. Aaron Grange reached out, myself and, Michael Richardson will be attending that and, taking some vehicles down there. It's from 10 to 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That'll be at the school on Saturday. And then, under training, the officers are progressing. They're almost complete with their FTO. And our new reserve officers are finishing up their pre-basic program. And I'll be reaching out to them personally and to try to get that done as quickly as possible so we can get them into their FTO phase. Any questions for me?
If you decide to make sale of these units at all, we'll need the board to make a definition that they have been declared surplus by make, model, year, and VIN number, and we have to advertise for the bidding, so let us know if you need that.
We have, as soon as we decide exactly what we want done with them.
Sure.
Then we will let everybody know.
Okay.
Stuff.
All right.
Anything else?
No, everything else good?
Anything else? Wonderful.
Good, good. Thank you very much, Chief Sips.
Thank you, Richard, for that reminder.
Okay. Sewer Department. Mr. Ryan.
Thank you. So to start right off with what Hunter was saying earlier, FEMA, we've seen no response from them. So, we're kind of just dead in the water at this point with basin number 2. So an option is that we can fix it ourselves and hope, beyond hope, that FEMA will reimburse us, partially.
Okay. Is that the 11,000 we were talking about?
Yeah, the 11,931. But, and I just thought of this, I will, we'll probably sit on this at least another 2 weeks, because I should at least ask IDEM what they think we should do. I haven't done this to this point, so I'll, get in contact with our inspector and get guidance from her on that. So
Okay. All right.
that's the state of that. My next thing is talking about the sewer smells in town. A couple weeks ago, I started my initiative in trying to tamp those down with hypochlorite.
Well, it's gotten better.
It has gotten better, particularly around the Babs Fairground and China Walk areas. That's where I've mainly been doing it. I haven't noticed a smell in about 2 weeks. So I was just notified of a couple more places that I might need to sniff around, as you would say. Like Wolf Street and Hunter pointed out the fairgrounds too. I didn't smell anything at the fairgrounds today, but it might be a morning thing, so I'll check that out and I'll keep an eye on it, just so I can keep town smelling as good as
I
possible.
think the humidity levels and that kind of thing affects that a lot.
Definitely
It does,
does.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
right.
That was the only thing I had to discuss sewer smell wise. Obviously, yesterday we had a little incident at the Beam Street lift station with the pump tripping off. My best estimate is that it happened Saturday at the earliest when the pump had tripped off. So it only gone, the blockage had only really gone on for 2 days at most. Because of the small capacity of that lift station, right? So it's working again. I wasn't able to get out today to clean it
you take the jetter down and spray it out?
I've not done that, and I haven't thought about it, but I think I will. That might help us get the, cause it cakes on the walls decently.
Yeah.
So that might help us get it off the walls. So, I'll probably end up doing that. I might run it up the gravity sewer heading back towards the Babs, because when we got it down low enough, we had, sections of grease this long that were in the form of the top of the pipe.
Oh,
So just when it
well,
backed
you-
up in the pipe, it had,
You would
was
believe
a-
what we saw yesterday.
it was a lot. So that's another issue, is the grease coming, from that area of
They have,
town.
don't they have grease traps?
They do.
Supposed to clean
And
it?
I'm told they get them cleaned on a regular schedule. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably set a timeout and I'll go and inspect their grease traps,
Yeah.
get a, better bead on their schedule. And then the laundromat that is sitting right there, the combination of soaps
Yeah,
and fats and
that
oils,
really,
that leads to a faster buildup
mm,
of the congealed grease in those
It
dishes. So,
was nasty.
wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
That one truck was like that.
So, yeah.
When we pulled the lid up and it was right there at the road.
Did you see the pictures posted on Facebook?
Yeah, I posted.
Okay, did you see all the comments?
I did.
Did you see the comment that suggested that we needed to test the drinking water as if the drinking water was somehow
Float
connected
over.
to wastewater?
could be.
Yeah,
Never
I
know.
did do a little research about the comments and the people that liked it and everything. Almost 60% of them do not even live in Owen County.
Really?
That's way it all.
That's
Somebody's
crazy.
there,
So-
somebody's-
Take it for what it's worth.
That's
Somebody's
great.
living
Yeah.
inside the town.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty thick though. It really was.
Yeah, I noticed, and Drew probably has it all down to do this, but up in the Mayfair addition where we're going to replace that force main,
Up on Hart Street? Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no easements.
Yeah.
That was put in when Glenn May said, just put it down through here before houses. Now, where are we at legally when we go back in there and have to replace anything or dig up?
They have it all painted
Drew-
out too. and
Drew
everything.
talked about that at our meeting,
Yeah.
last week, about the easements and their engineers and stuff are already working on
We're
that.
going to
Got it.
reconstruct
Okay.
and refurbish the existing easements,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
permanent and temporary.
Yes.
Are they the ones that are doing the painting off the project up there, or is that the water company?
That was, up by that lift station, Geotech was out there to survey and,
Because there's like places off in the yards that are blocked off, so maybe putting in.
I've not been up there to see what they had done
Yeah.
afterwards, but I was there when they started, so.
Okay.
I'll run out there and look, but,
Okay.
it's probably what Geotech had done. And along with the easements, our, gravity outfall through the field also has no easement, and they're working on that as well.
Yes,
So,
okay. Yeah, that's what we had talked about, with talking top, yeah.
my only other thing I wanna talk about is that, our, Alliance rep had told me about some mixers and a bar screen, mechanical bar screen that might be worth looking at when we end up replacing them, because that will, of course, happen in time. So the only place in Indiana that has the mixers, specifically is Topeka, and they also have that same type of bar screen, so, at some point in the future, it doesn't have to be even soon, it's essentially when we have an open moment,
You wanna take a trip
I
over?
would like to take a trip up there to see them in action, get notes on them, the like, and what you had responded to me, I'll try to do a little, like, cost estimate and what retrofitting we would need to do in order to get those in
To
place.
replace, yeah, what we have now.
Mhm.
But you have some videos on
Yeah,
it
I
that
do.
are very explanatory.
Yeah, I
so
can show those
It,
to you.
The mixers are subsurface, so they're always sitting below the surface. And so they'll get, right now our mixers struggle with getting a complete mix. There's always sludge that's left over in the bottom. That once their blowers turn on gets kicked up. So we never get truly accurate concentrations of our sludge, which isn't usually a huge deal, but it can push our efficiency down when we're not getting a complete mix there.
It said be less energy overall in the process.
Yeah, that's what I was told as well. And then along with that, and this is where the retrofitting comes in, I guess what they had done is they had a different aeration system where they didn't have diffusers, like not like proper diffusers like we do. They would just essentially pipe it up onto the underside of the mixer, and the mixer would separate the air into bubbles as you see it, and it would get a more complete aeration around the tank rather than just on one side as we have it now.
Okay.
So I'm not sure of the cost associated with that specifically. That would require pretty much draining the tank down in its entirety. So that may not be an option. Probably, I would imagine it's not going to be something that we look at in this project, but it's something to think about.
Okay.
And then,
Like I recommend, have Drew Commonwealth look at it too, because they may have run into it, but if there's only one system in Indiana, they may not have.
Right. And when Topeka got it, they had to go down, they flew down to Florida to see them. So,
That's what you're after, isn't it?
they're pretty,
I'll go with you.
Short vacation.
they're pretty specific to SBRs, and they tend to be a more rare type of plant, so.
Okay.
But as for the bar screen, it's just, it's a lot simpler. It's essentially a revolving rack.
Yeah.
It just drags it up.
It
So
shows.
it's a lot more open, a lot less maintenance, and less likely to freeze. And if it does, it's a lot easier to
Well,
freeze.
that's exactly what we want you to do, is keep your ears open on how we can be more efficient and how we can run our plant down there.
Yeah.
So when the I don't know, I don't recall exactly when the Raptor was put into place, but when that's a past its service life,
Yeah.
it would probably be good to get a different type of screen, because we've had issues with
Yeah.
the Raptor in the past, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Absolutely, that's all for me.
Okay, all right, sounds good. All right. Street department.
Thank you, sir. I will be quick, but as you requested.
Thank you.
As you requested.
Excuse that.
Wow.
This makes it so much easier, believe me.
Follow along, kids.
And
Short one from there, I'll give you Hunter, so you don't need.
That's all right. I'll follow along.
This morning I got the complaint, and I believe John's seen that, basically at Hillside and Main Street, where the water company had a contractor re-pour the section of sidewalk that was tore out during their stuff. Anyways, it's built all wrong, and it's a pretty nasty edge sticking out there. I did get with Todd this morning. He wants to try a couple different things. Worst case scenario, they're gonna have to tear it out and replace that, but I told him I wanted that done by school, you know, basically 2 weeks. Once buses start going through there, I don't want the kids, I don't want that sticking out. Evan, you might have noticed, but we got the semi-permanent crosswalk tape that we bought last year. We done that 2 sections.
Yeah, it looked nice.
Elementary school. I wanted to wait till it got a little closer to school time before we placed them, and now it's just waiting and see how they hold up. That was about almost $500 for just them
Yeah.
4 lines, so. But
It is easier to see than
it's
to
easier to
paint.
see, you can
So,
actually
it's-
feel it when
yeah.
you go over them. It's just a matter of
Will it last?
durability, so we'll
Yeah.
just see how they last, and.
Yeah, I
if we
noticed it
wanna
looks good.
Consider purchasing more of that down the road. The culvert at Fletcher in Indiana, it's done when I was on vacation. Still needs asphalt and some header work and that sort of thing, but tidied up. But for them, it's replaced. Next, we're going to White Oaks, Ashley Court. That one in there needs to be redone. We already purchased the culvert for that one. It was about $1,000. The one up here was $600. The tree at 168 East North, we already discussed that. I have an employee, you guys can see,
I
I'm
see.
not gonna say names in public meeting, but I have an employee who has a surgery coming up. He says that he needs his doctor is recommending he has 2 weeks off of work and up to 4 weeks of light duty. He has very minimal hours saved up. I believe he talked to Cheryl today, but he's requesting to know if he can be advanced 2 to 4 weeks of time. And then my question also is, do we even have light duty employment to offer to him? We've done it for an employee in the past, however, that was a workman's comp issue where workman's comp was trying to get him back to work. This has nothing to do with work, this is on the side, so that's a two-part question that I don't
Would that be
know how
like
to do.
painting something and
Yeah, what's,
setting at a
He'll have,
desk?
he'll have
One
one arm.
arm and a sling.
So
Okay.
that makes it a little
That'd
bit
be hard,
different.
yeah.
And it's, I think it's his, no, I think it's his left arm,
Yeah, I'm not for sure.
but,
So
but still,
I guess my first question is about the time loan to him. That's coming, that's a request from him. I told him I would present it to the board.
I was gonna say, we talked to him and we don't have anything at all. And I don't know if the police have anything at all, but, I mean, I don't know what kind of light duty, if there's anything that he can do at all, but I didn't think so. I think,
If he cannot perform essential duties, there is
There's
Right.
not
no
much you can do.
remedy here.
I would like to advance him a couple weeks. He has about 2 weeks and
Okay.
he's gonna be,
All right.
in a cast for 4 weeks. So I would like to suggest we advance it to him, or if anybody
Okay.
wants to donate it.
And on the record, he is a 25-plus year
Right,
employee.
yes.
He just doesn't have any hours saved up.
Okay.
He has some, I mean, has not,
He
he
has,
doesn't
okay.
have all that much.
Well, we still need to take somewhat care of him.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I would make a motion to advance him the two weeks' pay
Okay.
for the time being, but we don't really have any light duty.
Yeah, I didn't think, I
I
told him.
mean, we
that.
don't have a crossing guard yet, and,
I think, and when he comes out of the sling, however long that
yeah,
may be, he'll still be, he said he'll come out of the sling, he'll still be at a lifting restrictions.
Okay.
And I think we can still work with that, but I think as long as
he's
he's
in a sling, he needs to stay,
Slinged
yeah.
up,
I don't want him hurting himself.
what we
Yeah,
can
it
do.
would be awkward.
After he gets out of the sling, he'd be able to drive a truck.
Right.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay,
Lawnmower, I mean,
yeah.
he just can't lift with that
Okay,
arm.
all right. I'd make a motion then to advance the street employee the 2 weeks
Okay.
pay while he's off work for medical reasons.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay.
And then just to be clear, then we don't really have light duty, but when he's out of the sling on weight restrictions, then we can accommodate it.
Yeah, he can come back to work and then if weight restrictions, okay, if you wanna use him in the shop, sweep it up or something,
Right.
clean it up,
We
spraying
feel-
weeds or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Okay.
I just,
That's what we do at work.
okay. I will pass all that along, and I'm sure he's appreciative of what you
Okay.
did for him. The last thing on my list is the second backhoe we've been looking at. I've been dealing with one company, I'm gonna check with some others, but just to get some general pricing on Case 580s. These are all four-wheel drive. There's three different options from new to slightly used to a little bit slightlier used. I just don't know where we're at financially and what I should be focusing the most on, you know what I mean? Once I find out are we wanting new, are we wanting used, are we wanting used, then I can look a little more specifically and say, hey, I found this good deal on
Okay,
one.
but can I ask something?
Yes,
How old's the one you got now?
it is a 2009 that we got.
That
in
we bought right
10.
after, like, I'm on the
Yeah, I
board.
believe it's a 9, we've got it in 10, and it has roughly 600 hours, is that what we looked at? High 500 hours.
Well,
And it's still in good shape, but things are starting to happen. I mean, it's, what, 15 years old now, so I'm just wanting to, something else so that we're not 100% dependent on that machine. And it'll make that one last even longer, but we use that backhoe every day for everything.
I see it buzzing around town all
It's
the time.
every day, everything.
Okay, I know that's a big expense, but I mean, practicality speaks that a new one would be, that way you can rest the used one a little more. It
Right.
would be maybe a little better option
And
in the long run.
And I agree with that, and I don't know the benefits, new versus slightly used.
I agree,
Look at-
$60,000 for more than a 2022,
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
I know.
Looking at, if you asked me and Scott right now, which one of these three we think is the best right now, just off these
Middle
numbers,
one, I think.
I think the middle one
Yeah,
with 50 hours is like a demo model.
that's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's
okay.
true.
And it's
So many hours.
$30,000 cheaper, it's 1 year old
Yeah,
with 50. I'm not
guess
gonna turn
what's the
down a new
difference?
piece of equipment.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm saying, I think that is very reasonable.
50 hours is nothing.
50 hours versus for
Oh, gosh, no.
$30,000 price difference,
Yeah.
I think is
Okay.
quite a bit, but I
Have
really
you,
have
have you
no
seen it in
idea.
person?
Photographs of this one, but like I said, I have no idea. We're trying to get,
Where is this one?
he has there's two places, one in Indy, one in Franklin,
Okay.
Greenwood, Franklin, one of them places over there. And we will travel and we'll go up and actually look at the machine that we wanna get, that I
Yeah.
wanna present to you. I
think-
just kinda wanted to feel out should I be looking at and what price range do we have available
I
for
think you
this?
got a good selection myself. If it measures up to what you want when you go up and look at it.
Right. And, I mean, this is a good selection, but it's also 81,000 to 146,000. I mean, that's a pretty big.
That's 65,000.
So, what I would like, if it's okay with you, if we look in the, 100 to 125 for a very, very slightly used machine with 50 hours or something, then that's what we will focus on finding
Is that in the
I'm not
numbers?
opposed.
versus,
It's economic development funds would be
Yeah.
used, so.
Oh, yeah, I'm not opposed, Tony, I mean, that's fine.
and I'm not against getting a brand new machine. So I just think if you look at this number, 50 hours is a drop in the hat for $30,000.
Yeah. On a piece of equipment, 50 hours is nothing.
Right. So we'll kind of focus in that area and actually, go go get specs, pictures of the machine that we want to ask you for. But
All right.
I just wanted to feel you out on that, which
No,
way
that's fine, that's fine.
we're looking. John and I looked at I finally got him cornered. He gave me exact spots of where the no parking signs on North Main, so we're gonna get them located, posted, set, get that taken care of. And the tree, that's not ours. I'm gonna call her tomorrow. That's everything I had on my list. Mr. Barnett, what do you have?
Culvert we put in, we still got, either we have to ditch it or the state has to ditch it.
Oh,
There by the car lot going
Uh-huh.
south.
yeah.
I've got it marked and located.
Went ahead and had it locate just to be safe, cause it's been so long since it's been ditched, but it's just
It's
full
12
of.
inches above the.
How was that repair on Indiana, right up the street there?
The culvert,
Yeah,
I mean, it was simple, it was just a matter of, it took us forever to find out if it was ours to do.
yeah.
And once we got everything and we got some weather that cooperated for a little bit, then we went up. It's still gravel bottomed right now.
Okay.
Plate compacted it, but we need to let it sit for a week or two and let some vehicles and beat that down, then we'll go in with asphalt and repair that. That was, I would say in total cost with gravel and everything, that one was maybe $1,000. Repair this one out here that we're getting ready to tackle would be maybe 1,500 total cost.
That's not bad.
Tony, I sent you a copy of that professional services contract for Chips Outdoor. We need a schedule from him for the kinds of services cutting, hauling, whatever it would be.
I met with him this morning about that, and I provided him that. He was a little, as I was too, a little hesitant how that turned into a 15-page
Well-
contract that really doesn't say.
Unfortunately, when we were working with the Truax version of this program, it was a more limited thing. This is a much broader one that would be involved with FEMA and all, so it generates this kind of contract.
And I tried to explain the best in my non-legal mind I could to him, but I recommended, and he told me he would do it anyway, but that he takes that and his questions up to see either you or Tiffany to
Yeah,
kind of
just give us a
talking
call.
through it and
Yeah.
what you're wanting. I told him I don't know if we need to break down, because it would be really hard, every piece of equipment,
Oh, no,
or
just
like a man hour. If him and
Yeah.
one crew is this,
man hours.
if he has to have another crew,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
this amount based on
Yeah,
what
we
we
could do
just
that.
did.
Okay.
And that seems like the
Yeah.
easiest.
What you're doing is you're approving him in an emergency situation where the amounts at least can be determined based upon the hours and the equipment used, okay?
And we understand, and I got him to understand what we was after, or what that was for in the big scope of, say, a big city. I mean, it's a little much for us, but that's fine, and he's gonna get a hold of you in your office to
Okay,
kind
that'd be
of go
fine.
over things and
Okay.
what you still need from him.
Do you keep you on a retainer then, or you just making this,
No, just only for emergency services.
okay,
If
Yeah.
there's some specific one project, it would be a separate application.
all right,
Right, the way I understand it, this is just if another tornado or
yeah.
another
Right.
disaster, I don't have to call you
Right.
at 3 in the morning and get
Yeah,
permission.
yeah,
We've already got it set, he can help us out at this
Okay.
rate
just
in
wanted to understand
this
it.
emergency.
That's what it's
Good.
for.
This Tim Prunty out on Ashley Court, you went out and took a look at the drain
This, yes, that's the one I'm
with
speaking of.
Vetters, okay, so that's when you'll replace it.
That's the one we're
Mm-hmm.
going next.
Okay, okay.
It's actually been located, we've even got the salt cuts, we're waiting for 2 days back to back, no rain.
Okay, good luck.
So that's that's the next one we're headed to.
Okay, all right, thank you, Tony. All right, anything else?
I have nothing else. Do you have any questions or
No.
concerns?
Parks Board,
Well, we were supposed to have a meeting this Wednesday, but that got rescheduled, and looks like there's still some emails that I haven't quite read since I've been in meetings for the last 2 hours, but,
Next week sometime.
yeah, probably Wednesday again. That'll meet with the contractor, the design team, park board, to get to groundbreaking. They said they're gonna go ahead and start moving forward on things that they can, since the email got delayed, or not email, the meetings via emails have been delayed a little bit, but
okay.
that's, we haven't had a park board meeting yet this month, cause it's always at the end of the month, so.
All right.
That'll be exciting though, because of the next step. is-
Yeah, it's ready,
Yeah.
get ready to start
Do
construction.
something, yeah, it's
So,
been
in
a
the
long,
foundation newsletter, they mentioned.
Yeah.
the back,
yeah,
And
so,
it's the same, designer, same one that's looking at the archway.
Yeah.
He's gonna be down talking to us at the same time.
mhm.
Okay.
Afterwards or
Yeah, I think
before.
we've got some nice beautification
Yes.
projects going on.
Good, good.
I was gonna add.
Yeah, please, or Bobby as well.
Nicole DeCrisio, had reached out and asked to be present at that meeting.
Oh, okay.
Just to kind of show the community what the Parks Board is up to with that project,
Sure.
so.
Okay. When, again, I don't know if they've finalized on that or not yet, because I haven't checked my email in 2 hours, but if you could let her know when the time
Yeah.
is set, yeah, cool, good.
All right.
Bobby, anything for the good of the cause?
All right, thank you, Evan. Planning and zoning.
Tomorrow night, we have a meeting, we have a presentation on ancillary dwelling units and all, and also a hearing on some property that they want to change the zoning on. It's currently agriculture, they want to make it into residential. We have some questions because this is where the sawmill has operated previously type thing, and we're worried about any kind of environmental concerns, questions about setbacks also, to make sure that it is consistent with other uses around it and all, but need a little more detail on things like that.
Okay.
I know during the construction phase around our sewer plant, it might be a little tight with the compressed concrete.
Yes.
People right out at the edge of the road, so, you know, we just gotta work with that so that we can get,
Yeah, they're close there, aren't they?
yes, they're very close,
Uh-huh.
get our stuff in and out.
All right, redevelop.
August is our next meeting and all.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fire territory, I don't really have anything.
I do,
When's our next meeting?
that'll be the second Monday, hold on.
In August.
That'll be the 11th of August. It came to my attention that Travis Drescher needs to be reappointed to that board
Oh, okay.
because he filled in for Steve Craddock, and his term expires this month.
Oh. All right.
Found that out last week. So.
Okay.
Oh,
Is that something we need to make a motion on?
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. Yes, we are. I would make a motion that we would reappoint Travis Drescher to the Owen Valley Fire Territory Board. Is that a 4-year term?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 3-1, 3-0, okay. If you wanna inform him, he's still tied to that.
He's stuck.
He's stuck for 4
Yeah,
more years.
so we're good.
Is the fire territory recording its meetings?
Not as of now.
Not yet.
Put it on the agenda.
Okay. All right, well, I mean, recording.
We can get that set up.
Okay.
Do they meet here?
No, they meet at the firehouse.
Not the far
Do
out.
they have a setup for that?
Not simply. I mean,
Should
we
they
can-
meet here or perhaps at
I've
the
seen a lot
school?
of towns that just set up a tripod and a camera, even their phones. and
Okay.
stuff like that,
But you
so-
know all the software and
It's what we do at the
that
shop.
kind of things.
I mean,
Yeah.
It was real simple.
Okay.
We can get that set up. I'll talk to Lee about it.
All right. Attorney?
Want to report, first of all, I had a conversation with Ron Walker this morning. Purpose of the meeting was twofold. One was to get an update from him about the status of everything out there at Texas Pike. They have completed and have sold 27 units, soon to be 30, okay? Completely done and changed hands, okay? They are currently working on what they call Phase 3A and soon to be 3B. Remember, Phase 1 was you first went in there, and that string of homes was there, and Phase 2 was across the street from that.
Yes.
Phase 3 is just down the road from that on the, on our north side, okay? In doing so, what they did was they were really worried about making sure that the drainage systems were working adequately and appropriately for the reservoir bases and all.
Okay.
They are, in fact, dredging that and making sure it's going to work. They increased the elevation of that entire phase so that it would be gravity fed better.
Uh-huh.
And they reinforced the drainage areas with concrete,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So
Speaking of
they're-
drainage. Yeah.
all of the mains for water and for sewer are in those 3 phases I just mentioned, okay? They have not made any application and probably will not make an application for dedicating these things until such time as they're completely done and surfaced, okay? So that makes good sense and all. His intention is, in all probability, they will finish the first 50 houses of the subdivision this year.
Oh, sweet.
The other remaining ones are going to be then to the east and north, and they will be started in 2026. And it's estimated that in 2 more years, they will complete the project.
26, 27.
Okay. He did mention that the lift station area is one that they would like to make into a more park-like environment type thing. It might be a more public place type thing, and wanted to solicit our ideas about that. The last thing that we talked about was
We would
that,
probably-
Ryan.
In that case, we would probably wanna put a fence around the lift station.
Yeah.
Be a good idea.
the one thing that happened when they came in to make the Texas Pike, at that time it was not yet annexed. So the county planning commission approved the project, and in lieu of a performance bond, they decided to give, Cook decided to give the county a letter of credit to ensure that the roads and things would be properly placed and all. So that letter of credit is out there now, but the true beneficiary is no longer really the county, but rather the town. So I'm going to approach the county asking them to assign the beneficiary rights to that letter of credit to us, and
Yes.
Cook is willing to do that. They did ask that if they have in fact finished, for example, 50% of the project, can they reduce the letter of credit amount? And that seems rational at that point in time. So it was a very good conversation. They're very pleased with where they are. He announced that they are almost at full capacity of employment opportunities now. They have restructured the Cook national and international, domestic and international work product manufacturing process so that they are realigning things, and there have been people moved from other locations into Spencer. So we're in a good position right now to be able to exercise a lot of things and work with them on that.
Part of that have to do with the tariffs?
I don't think they're feeling the tariffs as much. They don't need to import as many things as Boston does, I don't think, to do what they do. Now, that's a guess on my part and all, but I'm sure tariffs are affecting every business, mostly because of the uncertainty. It isn't the cost yet and all, it's you just don't know where to put your money to be able to have long-term plans, and that's gonna be a while before that settles down.
All right.
So that was the report. And John, I would like to get with you. We need to talk, I think, about having a meeting with Bean Blossom, of course, possibly the assessor's office and all.
Okay.
And then lastly, once again, on our easement that we want to try to get. and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Maybe we can do that this week yet.
Okay.
So, did you, and we talked about it earlier today, but did you get a hold of that, Mr. Connerton?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good, 'cause
Uh-huh.
that made me think.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is gonna be,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
he,
He wants just advice on. how-
yeah, what the hell to deal with the water, yeah. So, I've got also, while we're on that subject, Jamie and Mert over on East Street, what's their last name? Jones. I don't know what to do about the alley in the back.
Anytime we touch it, he screams, so we just don't touch it.
Well, here's what's happening, Tony. I know we put the drain in up above, and that's pretty much eliminated all that. But his house, the house where, Mrs. Hammond lives, and the three across the street, all drain back to the alley. And there's no place for the water to go. Jamie's house is the lowest one, so that's where it
And
goes.
we have in the past went in and reshaped all of that so that it does drain out, but in doing so, it makes his situation worse because his house is lower than the alley. I mean,
I know.
there's no good answer. to
I know,
that.
yeah,
So then we go back and undo what we did to please him.
well, and if you scrape it lower south, you're just pushing it down on somebody else.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no place for it to go,
there's nothing, no good answer.
yeah.
I mean, we had Drew look at all of that and didn't really get a good outcome, you know, to make him happy, as
Yeah.
I recall.
Well, it helped it from the street side and
Yes.
everything, and those houses up there, but of course, with the
This is crazy though.
voracity of rain we've had lately, you know, and I know that he said he had a 2-inch pump out there pumping there tonight, and he's worried about his basement and what kind of saturation. The ground's full of water now, so I don't think there's a whole lot we can do, so. All right, I just want to make you guys all aware of that.
That brings the subject up, but when are we gonna make that utility that we're talking about?
Oh, the storm sewer thing?
$5 per
Yeah.
unit, yeah.
I think we need to do that at the same time we do the rate for the sewer plant, Mike.
Okay.
I mean, do it all at once.
We can set that as a plan, that's fine.
Yeah, cause, I mean, I know that some people are already aware that we probably will have a sewer rate increase and everything.
Okay.
You know, I'm already hearing chatter about that, but that's, I have to pay it, we all have to pay it, so.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Any other old business? We did get me and Hunter got the last of the trees planted the other day and got that all taken care of, so that's all done. New business, I do have from Comcast, and they contacted Cheryl. Mass Tech Communications Group is extending Comcast from the school to Walmart,
Aerial.
but it's all above ground. It's gonna go up the pole, out here to school, go across the highway, go down the highway, and on the east side of Walmart building and tie in. And there's a map here of what it is. I don't think there's any kind of a permit, but they just wanted us to know.
Well, they were asking about a permit,
Yeah.
and we don't have any aerial permit, of course.
Yeah, here's where it starts at school property, here it goes down the highway,
And they
and then
have to
across.
contact the state for a permit.
Yeah, they got, yeah.
The bad thing is, it's in that busiest section of the highway and it's August 17th through September 17th
Yeah.
is their proposed time.
Mhm.
And they will have people slowing down,
Flaggers.
so it's gonna be not long after school starts
Great,
and for a whole month.
yeah, they could have done it beforehand, couldn't they?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, just so you're aware, and,
We were talking about rates. We looked into biodegradable bags for leafing because, the street department said they don't want anybody to put leaves in bags and stuff like that, because you have to get rid of them. So I forget what the price is on these, but they're a lot cheaper than those big yellow bags.
oh, wow.
And as we're talking about putting rates up, raising rates, I thought it'd be nice to, offer these to people. That's another, that's one thing that we had looked at, always offer them something, make
Sure.
things look good, and then.
You didn't, been head between the eyes.
Ask you, and I can't remember, it's very cheap for these, it's cheaper than the other ones, and I was
Okay.
thinking about ordering them, and putting them out there and putting it on our bill that we have
That they're-
biodegradable bags available,
Wow, okay.
so.
I know some
that's a-
people that already, don't think, 3 or 4 people already would use those.
These are heavier than the Walmart or, Babs even.
People are still using black bags, but
Yeah,
when was it FEMA and everything was up at our leaf dump, and basically,
and they pick
we
up
have
those
to,
yellow ones.
if they set their debris out in a bag, we either have to take it up there, open it
Oh,
up,
sure.
dump it out, or the trash can, so we can't put the bags there.
Yeah.
These, I think they're safe, and I think they would
Yes.
comply that we can just,
Give them the heave-ho over the hill, huh?
I think it'd be nice, a little gesture to offer them. when
Sure,
we- when we
absolutely.
actually raise the rates again too, so.
I would think
just
so,
let them
yes.
kind of-
You might be surprised how much you end up giving them out.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
You'll still come by with a big vacuum though,
Leaf.
or,
we're gonna send you out with bags.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll send you my hourly rate for that.
It's just something that we would have here, and if somebody wants
Is that more
to
for
go-
people that have stuff stuck in the back and it's hard to get out and just
Yes.
dump it out there? I've always just,
around my
it's real
neighborhood-
easy on my yard to get it to the edge. I've never seen the bags. I didn't even know you did that, so that's cool.
Okay.
Good.
Any other new business?
Just want to mention, we were talking about community cars down here. They're supposed to start their work on or about August the 1st.
Okay.
Like to make sure we have someone check on what's happening and all, and whether we have all the appropriate permits. There was going to be a state design release and all. I haven't think
Seen
I've seen that yet.
Someone has come into our office already, and I really put again without getting rid of the asbestos.
Okay.
Yeah, it's full of it too.
Yes.
Yeah, uh-huh. Okay, all right. Any other comments? Bobby?
Since they're reporting from Cook about 50 houses being completed and everything, what's our timescale for getting that exit road done?
Oh,
As,
yeah.
as soon as we track down the other owner, yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
But I
Is
gotta track,
another one?
yeah, I got another one. Yeah, catching him has not been an easy deal.
Yeah, that's something.
Cause he owns down that lane and he owns way back here.
Yeah.
Well, they bush hogged, I've tried to catch him with the tractor, and I can't pin him down.
And right now, Bobby, that exit road wouldn't be beneficial because the houses are all on the north end and that's gonna be.
That'd be the last.
Once they built down south, a few more additions,
Yeah.
that's when that would come
Yeah,
into
that's gonna
play.
be
Well, I
like,
know those people have a hard time getting out of there, but,
yeah,
but
Do
but
school
they don't have streets down to that area yet,
Yeah.
so.
do school buses go through there, that neighborhood?
At
Cook?
Cook? Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pretty crowded.
and the other thing, I've already done my quilt.
Okay, sorry.
It's been up on the garage.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else then, let's do acceptance of claims.
We tabled the bonuses last meeting,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
and we haven't gone anywhere.
So my understanding is that came out of some specific funds. Was that from COVID?
Yeah, COVID, the
Yeah,
COVID.
So it was
ARPA
kind of some
funds.
additional stuff we were getting from elsewhere, so that's
We've
not
had it
something
for a couple
that's.
years, and we've used all those funds, and we don't have that anymore. It was, we only could do certain things with the COVID funds, and giving bonuses was one of them, buying equipment, and we used it for everything we could use it for, and there's nothing left for. We can't, it had to be spent by the end of last year.
And we really didn't budget anything for that, so.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect longevity, that's still part of the
Yeah.
regular pay and stuff like that, we just don't plan
Yeah.
budgets. and
We have a budget coming up.
I mean, yes, we don't
Yeah.
plan bonuses, we
Yeah.
Yeah.
plan the other pay.
Sorry.
Okay. Move on to claims then. Thank you all for attending and for all your good work. And we'll talk to you later. You got claims